Alright. Mulch. You go to the top of a card of your library, put all land cards you display into your hand, and the rest into your graveyard. Broken. Not broken, but this card is usually played. Being able to fill your graveyard fast is important. Also allows you to hit land drops. So if you're playing a graveyard deck, this card's actually pretty good. I'd give this card actually a 3 out of 5. It's pretty inconspicuous, but mulching is really powerful. It's really powerful for graveyard decks. It's obviously very good too and limited to fuel your flashback cards, but hitting land drops and also fueling the graveyard is powerful. So if there's like a graveyard deck, mulch could definitely see play in that deck. Markarv's Retaliation, 3 mana. Unlimited. Dreadful Service. It's an enchantment for 3 mana. Whenever you discard 1 or more cards, make a 2/2 black zombie creature token. This ability triggers only once each turn. Seems pretty good. I'm not sure ways that there are discard, but like making extra zombies seems pretty good. It's not crazy. It's kind of slow. I'm trying to think what ways there are to discard. What ways do you have to discard cards? Like, I know there's just an historic. Oh, blood tokens. Yeah, this could work with blood tokens. So your blood tokens all of a sudden make zombies as well. Yeah, blood tokens learn also works. Not terrible, not great, not terrible. Maybe a 2.5 out of 5. Not crazy, but maybe probably just a 2. Probably a 2. 2 out of 5. Maybe a fringe playable, but not nothing serious. I don't think blood's good enough to make this happen, honestly. Give it 2. Hero's Downfall. Oh yes. Perfect. Great card. 3 mana to destroy a creature or planeswalker. This card's fantastic. Great. Also uncommon instead of a rare. That's wild. That's wild. I give that like a 3.5. It's a staple. It's not 4 out warping, but it's a staple. So 3.5 here. Just a solid card overall. Not crazy, but just very powerful, and will be played in standard for as long as it's legal. Stensia Uprising, 4 mana. At the beginning of your end step, make a 1/1 human. Then if you control exactly 13 permanents, you may sacrifice this card. When you do, deal 7 damage to any target. No. This card's not really good. We've had Outlaw's Merriment. That card makes a lot better tokens than this one does. And that one sees no play. I have no hopes for Uprising. I give this like a 1.5 or a 2 max. Like 1.5. Honored Heirloom. Okay, this was not bad. So this is a 3 mana. You can tap to add mana, and then later in the game you can pay 2 mana to exile a card from a graveyard. And you can target. This could be decent in a control deck. I like this mana rock, believe it or not. I give this one a 3. It's pretty powerful. It's subtly powerful. Like it's not as powerful as the Celestis, but in a control deck, especially if graveyard things are big, this could be powerful. Just a repeatable way to exile the graveyard. Or exile important cards from the graveyard, you know? Like Galvanic Iteration, Memory Deluge. It's good. Patchwork Crawler, 2 mana, Zombie Horror. The 1/2, terrible stats. You can pay 3 mana, exile target creature card from your graveyard only, and put a +1/+1 counter on Patchwork Crawler. Patchwork Crawler has all activated abilities of all creatures exiled with it. This is a 2. I know you can probably do some cool combos with it, but having to pay 2 mana, and then pay 3 mana as a 1/2 to exile a card, and then pay the activated abilities of the card you exiled, I think it's just too much. We used to have one of these that was black that just automatically got them all. Necrotic Ooze. Do y'all remember Necrotic Ooze? And that card saw like very little play. Yeah, this is like a terrible Necrotic Ooze with that's very mana intensive. Cool for like, it's cool for commander, but not standard. It's just too much money. Not too much money. Too much mana. Too much mana. The ability is also, it's also 1/2, so it doesn't help it. Edgar's Awakening. Return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Whenever you discard Edgar's Awakening, you may pay 1 black. If you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. Interesting. So it's a reanimation spell. And you can discard it to like regrow a creature. It's not really madness, it's like worse than madness. I'm gonna say no. A 2 fringe. Nothing good. Not great. No. A 2 out of 5. Ascendant Pack Leader, 1 mana. Pack Leader enters the battlefield with a +1/+1 counter on it if you control a permanent with mana value 4 or greater. Okay? Whenever you cast a spell with mana value 4 or greater, put a +1/+1 counter on Pack Leader. That was a 2/1. That's a 2/1. God, I thought it was a 1/1. I was like, what this card's garbage. It's a 2/1, so it's like a Savannah Lions with upside. I mean, it's not great. It is Pelt Collector at home. It's playable. It's playable. It's not great, but it is what it is. If it was 3MC3 or more, it'd be nuts. But 4 is a bit much. I give it a 2.5 out of 5. It's probably playable in some like hyper aggressive. Well, things like it can be hyper aggressive, but it's still a 2/1. Like it's still a 2/1, right? People have played Swarm Shambler, which is I think is terrible. So, and early on it's a 2/1, and then you play your Chariot, it becomes a 3/2. I mean, it's not great. It's not a great card, but like it is playable in some if you want to fill that 1-drop curve. But it's not great. Nothing to be excited about. I would say again I'll say 2.5 out of 5. It's not fantastic, but it is what it is. Hamlet Vanguard, 3 mana, Ward 2. 3 mana for a 1/1. This thing enters the battlefield with 2 counters on it for each other non. This card in the battlefield with 2 counters on it for each other non-human control, non-token human control. Card seems terrible. Maybe it's not terrible. Maybe I'm wrong. So like if you go Jasper Sentinel into Wolfpack Warley, the wolf thing, and you play this, it's a 5/5. I don't know, is that good though? Sentinel won't count. I don't think this card is that great. Like, if I had Trample or something, maybe. It's not great. It's fine. The Ward 2 helps a lot, honestly. Because you can't just Fading Hope it like you do the trees from Ren 7. I don't think it's that great though. Like, I don't know. If your opponent kills your 1-drop or your 2-drop and plays on turn 3 as a 1/1, you're gonna be miserable. I don't know. I'm gonna say no. Green has better 3-drops. Like, I'm sure like there's also another 3-drop in the set that green wants to play over this fucking card. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say 2 out of 5. I don't think this card's good. Just because you can't play it by itself, and that's huge. If people are bouncing your creatures early or killing them. Inspired Idea. 3 mana. Draw 3 cards. Your maximum mana size is reduced by 3 for the rest of the game. Interesting. You can cleave over for 5. So this with Reliquary Tower is just 3 mana, draw 3. Broken. Broken. Or with Wizard class. This one's interesting. I don't know. Like, honestly, like, it seems decent in like a Reanimator deck too, right? If you're playing a Reanimator, you just play this, you draw 3. Your hand size is 5. That's fine, because you want to discard your creatures anyways. It's not really a control card unless you're playing Wizard class or Reliquary Tower. I can do math. Your hand size is 4, not 5. Sorry, chat. I can't do basic math. Maybe in a Reanimator style deck. Maybe it's like a. I think this has more potential in like a weird Reliquary Tower, Wizard class, 3 mana, draw 3, control weird deck. But this is, I think it's too much. Your hand size being reduced by 3 is a lot. The decks that can use this are decks that like can fuel the graveyard, right? So like, any Reanimator deck, a Phoenix deck, some kind of Disturb deck, or even a Dragon Rage Channeler deck, or some Luris deck. But Sorcery also hurts it. I'm gonna give it 2.5. I don't think it's that great. We might, like, if we do see it, I think it'll be like a one of in some decks as a value card, but I don't think it's that great. It's negative, thank you. This card is broken. Broken card. This is I give this a 3. It's a 1/1 flying spirit, and then you can pay 3 mana to give something else flying. Just a 1/1 with upside. Later in the game, you can like, you know, give something else flying. It's solid. We've seen a bunch of these shitters in mono blue Curiosity decks and stuff. It's just a solid card in those decks. All right, here we go. This is my jam. I saw this one earlier on Twitter. Cultivator Colossus for GGGGG. Trample. Star. Cultivator Colossus power and toughness each equal number of lands you control. This is important because it also has trample. When this thing enters the battlefield, you may put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. This card is fucking awesome. Like, obviously it's nuts in like your commander deck in whatever format, but like even in standard, like this is pretty powerful because even if you play it and they kill us in response, you still get to like do the thing. You know? It's also a combo card too, right? Like, it's a combo card in older formats. I mean, in standard, so in standard, I give this card like, I think I give it a 3 in standard. Maybe a 3.5 in standard. In older formats, it's better, but even in standard, I kind of like this card. In standard, I give this, in standard, 3 out of 5. It's not like, it's not as powerful as Ren 7. It's not as powerful as Goldspan Dragon. It's not as strong as Alron's Epiphany. But it is powerful. It is strong in a big mana deck, or a deck that plays a lot of lands. Nice way to empty your hand out and then redraw. So for standard, it's a 3. Older formats, depending on what the format, it's probably a 4. Mischievous Geist, 2 mana for 1/1. Whenever this thing deals damage to a player, draw a card. And on the flip side, if you enchant creature, whenever enchant creature deals damage to a player, draw a card. It's Cat's Cradle. This is a 0. Not a 0. It's not playable in standard though. More so limited, I would say. Falkenrath Forebear, 3 mana for a 3/1. This thing can't block. Whenever this thing deals damage to a player, make a blood token. You can pay 1 mana, sacrifice 2 blood tokens, return this card from your graveyard to the battlefield. Oh, this card's good. This is like a fucking 3.5 out of 5. This card this is great for your vampire deck after Wrath. Hitting black and just bringing it back. This card is good. It's basically any card that comes back from the graveyard and like helps you against Wrath decks is good. This card's solid here for that. It's a good card. We'll see. This card should see play. House of Haunted Dolls. That's kind of weird art. It's a 5 mana artifact. Tap, exile a creature card from your graveyard. Get a copy of the exiled card, but it's a 0/0 artifact construct creature token in addition to its other types. This creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. That creature gains haste on a turn. Activate only whenever you could cast a sorcery. It's a mouthful. So it's basically God Pharaoh's Gift meets Karn. It's just like a whip of it's like a whip of Erebos for 5 mana instead of 4. I mean, if there's like a mid-range deck, this card could definitely see play. It's like big creatures. Because the tokens don't die. They just like they just stay around as well. So like they stack up and get bigger and bigger and bigger. It's a weird. It's also not legendary. It's Whip of Erebos without lifelink, and you keep the tokens. Has to be from your graveyard. I will give it something higher, but I don't think I can give it higher than 3, just because of Prismari Command. Prismari Command is a very, very powerful card and staple in standard and Izzet decks, and that just like it's a shatter. So honestly, just because of Prismari Command, this is probably like a 3 max, 2.5 or a 3, just because Prismari Command is a messed up card. I'll give it. Honestly, probably more towards 2.5 than 3. Especially since I see this card too, a Braid is coming back. Yeah. This card's nuts, obviously. Just a solid removal spell. Also give this one a 3. You can cast and activate in the same turn with other card, but the creature's gonna be like 1/1 or 2/2. Retrieve. Return to 1 target creature and up to 1 target non-creature permanent from your graveyard to your hand. This art's cool. Yeah, the art's cool, but I don't think so. Green already does enough card advantage that it need cards like this. Like if you want to get card advantage, you have like Briarware Tracker, you have like Old Growth Troll, you have Chariot, you have Ren 7. You really don't need cards like this anymore. Recollect cards like this aren't really that great anymore because green produces card advantage in other ways. So this is like a 1. It's not really playable. Syncopate. Sure, this is a 3. Counter a spell on this control plays X. If that spell's counted this way, exile it. This is a 3. Just a solid counter spell. With cool art. Curse of Hospitality. Enchant player for 3 mana. Creatures attacking enchanted player have trample. Whenever a creature deals combat damage to enchanted player, that player exiles the top card of their library until end of turn. That creature's controller may play that card, and they may spend mana as a mana of any card to cast it. So it's like a Robber of the Rich thing that gives you huge trample. Nah. Cute, but not good enough. Standard. 3 mana. It's basically 3 mana. It's basically 3 mana. Do nothing. Red and black decks are killing you in other ways. I don't think you want this card. Like you'd want this card more in a green red deck to give your giant creatures trample. But even then, I think you're better off playing like Unnatural Growth if you want to go down that route. Not good. 2 out of 5. 2 out of 5. Not good enough. Not good enough. Magma Pummeler. Never mind. This is limited. I'm not reading this card. Radiant Grace. Enchant creature gets +1/+0 and has vigilance. When it dies, return Radiant Grace to the battlefield. Transformed. Creatures enchanted player controls and the battlefield tapped. Oh, cool. So put on your creature, has vigilance, and after it dies, it comes back and it curses the opponent. That's kind of cool. That's a cool like lore. Or that's cool. It's interesting. You can't play many of these, but you can play like 1 or 2. I mean, you could also put it on your opponent's creature if you want. I don't know. It's not that good, is it? It's not good because you can't control when it flips, and the front side isn't a big enough boost to make it worthwhile. The more I think about it, the worse this card gets. Like if you really want this effect, you just play a card that does this effect. You don't really do this. I don't think it's good enough. I'm gonna give this one a 2 as well. Howlpack Piper. Uh-oh, a green card. This spell can't be countered. Fuck you. Can't be countered. 4 mana can't be countered. Pay 1 to green. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. I like that already. Untap Piper. If it's a wolf or a werewolf. Oh my god, you can jump werewolves on. And it transforms. Whenever this card enters the battlefield or transforms into Wild Tune Howler, look at the top 6 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from them, put it into your hand. with the rest of the card on the bottom of your library. This card is good. This card it can be countered. And just put shit on the graveyard, then it transforms, and you get the creature every time it transforms. This card's pretty good. It's definitely a different style deck. You don't jam it in your like mono green stompy deck. Because it's 4-mana 2/2. You play it in like a. Basically, when you activate this ability, you're putting something big into play. Yeah, it also helps with your triggering nighttime, because you can just pass and then activate the ability. This doesn't go in your stompy deck. This goes into this. Basically, this is a card you build around, right? You play. This is actually pretty great for historic decks too, because after game one, usually people are attacking your graveyard. They're going to like, play Grafdigger's Cage or Rest in Peace. This is a great way to go around that and just like, play Sarah's Emissary or Coma, or even Coma from your hand. This card's, I'm gonna say this card's a 3. It's for its own deck, but like, even if you ramp into like a turn 3 this, turn 4 Coma, or turn 4 the freaking thing that comes into play, you play lands, and you draw cards. It's definitely like a different card. It's not for stompy decks. It's for show and tell type style decks. I'm gonna give it a 3, and I'll probably be the one that breaks this card or makes it decent. Necroduality. 4-mana enchantment. Whenever a non-token zombie enters the battlefield under your control, create a token. It's a copy of that creature. Eh. I don't know. Reflections of the Jar costs 5 mana. Four mana is a lot cheaper than 5. Oh, it's only a zombie. It's only zombies. Never mind. Nah. It's only zombies. I thought it was. I'm gonna say no. I'm still gonna say no. I could be wrong. Where's my Dinky Heart? Well, I'm rating these for like competitive play. Will I brew on these cards and like make wacky decks? 100%. As far as like tier 1, like as far as like viability as in tier 1 or tier 2, 3. You know what I'm saying? That's how I'm rating these. That's how I'm rating these cards. I'm not rating them as like how fun are they. Like, yes, this card's sweet. And I'll play it. I'll brew a fucking zombie deck for sure. As far will we see this like in the Mythic Championship? No, probably not. And that's what I'm like saying. Honestly, this card's hard to rate without me seeing the rest of the zombies. So it's really hard for me to say. I'm gonna give it a 3 just in case. But if zombies suck, it's easily like a 1 or 2. I think 3's pretty high. I think 3's are pretty high. So it's hard. This one's hard to evaluate until I see the full set. Lantern Flare. 1 and a white. Lantern Flare deals X damage to a creature or planeswalker, and you gain X life. X is the number of creatures you control. Oh, I see. Oh, so if you cleave, you can do it for whatever you want. Well, what many put into it? Yeah, this card's good. card's great. This card's a removal spell that gains life. Late game, you can just fucking dump all your mana to kill the least spellbinder, so you can gain like 20 life. Yeah, this card's good. You can also play in a control deck as well. Solid card. 3. Give it 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Cemetery Prowler. Oh my god, it's a wolf. Welcome to the pack. So, 1 GG, creature wolf, vigilance. Whenever a Cemetery Prowler enters the battlefield or attacks, exile a card from a graveyard. Any graveyard. Spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card type they share with cards exiled with Cemetery Prowler. Oh shit. Oh shit. That's really good. 3 mana for a 3/4 with vigilance. Then it reduces the cards of. This card's really good. Let me give this 4. This is a fucking 4. Very powerful card. Wow. Yeah. 4 out of 5. It's a 3 mana for 3 more. God, it's really good. And they stack so if you play like multiple of these, you can reduce the cost of your creatures multiple times. Yeah, this card's powerful. I like it. Dreadfast Demon. At the beginning of your end step, sacrifice a non-demon creature. If you do, create a token that's a copy of Dreadfast Demon. Dreadfeast Demon, excuse me. By the 6th day of darkness, the lake was more blood than water. I mean, like, you want to reanimate this, but you need more fuel to get it going. I don't know. I don't think so. Like, you need to Unburial Rights it, and then have more shit sacrificed to it. I want to say no, because like usually when you bring something back, that one thing you bring back should be good enough. Obviously, Limbe, this card's stupid, but you don't want to be you don't want to bring a creature back that can also that needs more things to go. I'm gonna give this a 2. Give this a 2 out of 5. Ulvenwald Oddity. 4 mana for a Trample Haster. That's good. Fine. Then you transform it. It's an 8/8 Trample Haste. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 have Trample and Haste. Yeah, this is a fucking good card. I don't tell you. It's a solid card. Trample Haste. Trample Haste. More Trample Haste. This card is nuts. On the front side, it's fine. Having Trample Haste is fine. And then, like, late. Obviously, 11 mana is a pipe dream. But it's gonna happen. Like, transforming it late in the game will happen. And then it's an 8/8. That just kills you. Yeah. I'm gonna give this a 3.5 or a 4. It's not as good as Goldspan Dragon. It's still really good. I'm gonna give it a 3.5, even closer to a 4. It's right there. Maybe a 4. It's good though. Also, this is like what's left over from Emrakul. Toxrill, the Corrosive. Oh my god, it's a slug whore. 5 babies. 7/7. At the beginning of each end step, put a slime counter on each creature you don't control. Alright, so here's one to you, here's one to you, and here's one to you, chat. Creatures you don't control get -1/-1 for each slime counter on them. Whenever a creature you don't control with slime counter on it dies, make a 1/1 black slug creature token. You can play a blue and a black, sacrifice a slug, draw a card. Slug. Yo, what is that big creature that puts slime tokens on it? Sludge monster. Whenever sludge monster enters the battlefield or attacks, put a slime counter up to one other target creature. Non-horror creatures with slime counters on them lose all abilities and have base power toughness 2/2. So sludge horror with Toxrill. In a turn cycle, you kill creatures. It's interesting. Probably too much, but I like Toxrill. Like this card's whatever. Sure, I know combos, but Toxrill I kind of like actually. I'm a fan of Toxrill in like a control type shell. I like it in like a finisher as in your control deck. Obviously you can't play mana because it costs 7 fucking mana, but I like it as a control finisher. It kills creatures, it draws cards, it's fucking massive. I'm gonna give it like a maybe. But the problem too is like the issue with the creatures as finishers. If you're control deck, you really want your finisher to be like a planeswalker, right? Or a creature that like you can't kill, as like hexproof or shroud or something, or All-One's Epiphany. So probably not, chat. I want to see playing control, but that's my boomer brain, and we're long gone. We play Una, Queen of the Fae to win the game. I don't think we play this card. Like, you have Onyx, you have Cyclone Summoner, you have Leer, you have the Dragon, Desert Doom. I want to play this card, and this card looks sweet, and it's like slow and methodical and like kills, but I don't think it's good enough. I'm gonna give it, sadly, I'm gonna give it a 2, I think. A 2 because you might bring it in from your sideboard, but other than that, you're probably not bringing it anywhere. Because even against like mono white even against like white weenie, Imrith is better because it's a 5/5 and you can just block everything. Kessig Wolfrider, 1/2 menace, exile 3 cards from your graveyard, make a 3/2 red wolf token. Human Knight. Exile 3 cards from your graveyard. I'm gonna give this a 2.5. Just a random aggro shitter that can spit out wolves. 2. It's like a weird Grimwaldmancer. 2.5. I'm not a huge fan, but maybe. Lunar Rejection, 2 mana. Return target wolf or werewolf creature to its owner's hand. If you kick it, if you cleave it, return target creature to its owner's hand, draw a card. Yeah, I like this card. I think this card's a 3. I think there's a lot of werewolves. And even late game, it's basically like Into the Royal with kicker. But if you're able to like bounce werewolf on turn 2 and draw a card, that's huge. That's powerful. So if the green decks play like the werewolf pack leader, that was called. The 3/3 creature, when it attacks, you draw a card for power. So I give this one a 3. I think it's powerful. Then late in the game, you can just it's basically Into the Royal with kicker. Undead Butler. When this thing is about filled with 3 cards. When Undead Butler dies, you may exile it. If you return our creature card from graveyard to your hand. Sure. Zombie that mills, that fills your graveyard and regrows. Zombies is hard. Like, I'm not sure. Excuse me. I'm not sure what their like curve is, so it's hard for me to tell. This card's either a 2. This card's either like unplayable or like a 2.5 or a 3. Again, this card's hard for me to evaluate until I see the full list, because I have to see like what the curve is for zombies and if it's good enough, but This could fit there. It's not great. It's not really that good, but it could fit depending on what they have. Just because it regrows a creature and it mills 3, and also we also have to look at other zombies and see like if they, you know, how they work with the graveyard and stuff. So this card's a little hard to evaluate until the full list is out. I'll be safe and say 2.5, maybe 3, depending on what we get, but nothing more than that. And if we get nothing, this card's like a 0. You just throw it in the trash can. Cemetery Protector, 4 mana for a 3/4 with flash. When this thing enters the battlefield, exile a card from a graveyard. Whenever you play a land or cast a spell, if it shares a card type with exiled card, you get 1/1 human creature token. It's not bad. I mean, like in a control deck, you can play this, exile a land. Then you block, you kill a creature. Then every land you play afterwards makes a 1/1. So I like this more in a control shell or a mid-range deck than I do in an aggressive deck. In an aggressive deck, I don't think you like this card too much. I think it's okay in an aggressive deck, not. But I think it shines most in a control or mid-range deck. We can play this, block a creature, exile land, then from there on out, you play a land that makes a creature. That's where I like this card. So probably like obviously a blue-white style deck or something. Just need to land in the graveyard though. Yeah, I gotta find a way to put a land in the graveyard. Well, I like it. I'll give it like a 3. Not crazy, but it's fine. Not as good as the green one. The green one's better. The green one is better than this card, but still. Yeah, but yeah, blue white also has mending, right? Yeah. So you can faithful mending this card to land, and then EOT flash this in, exile land, block a creature. Now every land you play is a freaking Castle Ardenvale. Yeah, it's fine. Consuming Tide, sorcery. Each player chooses a non-land permanent they control. Return all non-land permanents not chosen this way to their owner's hands. Then you draw a card for each opponent who has more cards in their hand than you. Oh, this is like a blue Wrath. This is probably as close as blues can get to a Wrath ever. Yeah, this card's like a 4. This card is good actually. I think this card is good for like non-Wrath decks. It bounces everything. It bounces planeswalkers, creatures, enchantments, artifacts. Give this card a 1. Just give me back treasure map. Bloodvial Purveyor. 4 mana. Flying trample 5/6. What the? Alright, let's keep going. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, that player makes a blood token. Whenever this thing attacks, it gets +1/+0 for each blood token. Wait, what? Where's the drawback? Excuse me, sir? It's a fucking 5/6 4 mana. This card is nuts. This card is fucking amazing. This card is disgustingly good. Five, 6? This blocks fucking the Goldspan Dragon. This blocks Imarith. This card's fucking gross. This card's a 4. 4 out of 5. It blocks everything. It blocks everything. Then it also kills the opponent. No, I'm wrong. Okay, I'm wrong. I'm wrong. This is the best card we've seen. This is really close to a 5. This is the best card in the set I've seen so far. Outside the lands. Outside the lands. The lands are fucking nuts, right? But this card is like... Yeah, this is a 4.5 or a 5. Because Goldspan Dragon is like a 5, right? Goldspan Dragon's a 5. This is like a 4.5 or a 5 as well. You know what? Fuck it, YOLO. 5. I'm giving this thing a 5. I'm giving it a 5. Bloodvial Purveyor 5. This card, I mean, it's just 4 minutes, like, oh my god. Also has trample. Like, actually, I lied. I lied. Sorry. This is not the best card in the set. The best card in the set is still Thalia, right? I forgot Thalia was in the set. All right, I give this a 4. I give this a 4. I give Thalia a 5. Thalia is higher than this card. This Thalia is a card you have to think about when you play Magic. This one you don't really. This card is good. They're both really good. They're both really good. It doesn't fucking matter. Like they're both fucking good. They're both like 4 or a 5, right? They're both fucking. They're both. But Thalia is better than this card. I'll say that. Thalia is better than this card because Thalia warps the metagame more so. Thalia is like makes some cards unplayable because of the Thalia effect plus at least Spellbinder. Yeah, so I'll give this 4.5. I'll give Thalia. I guess I give Thalia 5 too then. All right, chat. I think that's it for me.